You either grow or die, and I'll choose grow every time.
At least 4 billion useless eaters will be eliminated by the year 2050.
Whenever a truth is heard, there's no going back. You are the main character in the video game of life.
I personally don't believe anything they say, right down to the God they claim they worship.
Life is too short to not make understanding the truth a priority.
Here's the thing about the music business. It's a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs. Also, there's a negative side.
It's all dualistic.
You could stack up all their math books, all their science books, and even put all their degrees stacked up on top of that, and you still wouldn't be high enough to see the curvature.
No two people should ever agree completely on everything. If that happens, one of them isn't thinking for themselves.
We're just regular people who know we're being lied to. We're tired of it.
The bottom line is, there's only one choice left, and that's to dismantle this whole thing from the top down.
What's up, everybody? Hey, Snoop, how you doing, man?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for the repost, Cram, Foray, Timbo. Appreciate you guys. Sup, Templar.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys? Good.
It's another hetero edition, another delivered edition of the stream.
The mainstream Mondays delivered edition.
As you can see, Ice is still got a hold of Vince. He's still not out. I heard Ted went to go try to bribe some Ice people to get him out. So we'll see what happens.
Love it. Yeah. All the nice agents are doing their job.
What's up, Mindy?
What's up, Mindy? What's up, Haywood?
What's up, Haywood?
Let me get a chicken bacon a what?
That's right. As you can see, I'm broadcasting from my new apartment in the Costco Towers, baby.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah.
So before we get into the topics tonight, shall we just remind everybody?
You wanna talk about some Substack?
Substackalicious. So remember, folks, check out phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. Make sure you guys subscribe, because as you can see from that opening page there we're pushing more and more exclusive content. In addition to the streams that are already going on. So we got the Philosopher King, we got the Phone Booth Podcast. Obviously, Pick is in. Here's the Thing. We got Dualistic, Mind of Madness, Fasting Fake. And then we've got Detoxing the Matrix and Translucid. And man, the list just goes on. It's exciting how big we're growing, how many contributors there are. It's fantastic. And of course, don't forget the Phone Booth merch. Sport all your favorite t-shirts.
Remind them about the offer of the Fagman shirt. Here it is for those of you that want to buy a Fagman shirt. If you buy a Fagman shirt, take a picture, send it to Ted. He will send you a t-shirt of your choice for free. So you get 2 shirts for the price of 1 Fagman t-shirt. How amazing is that?
There you go. And yes, Mindy, thank you. Appreciate you. Make sure all y'all are sharing the podcast. It always helps, of course. But yeah, good stuff, man. I'll buy it and burn it live. Mindy says, I love it. Love it.
But dude, you know what? I want to get into something a little funny before we get too serious here. Let me pull this up real quick because this is an important topic right now.
Free Hershey bar or a free bar of silver? Which one would you like?
Hershey,
You want the Hershey? Go ahead. It's yours.
I
You don't want it. Which one would you like? Just take one, please. Whatever you want.
Okay, I'll take this one. Isn't that
You take the
silly?
Hershey bar?
Yeah.
Oh, you'd rather have the chocolate. Okay, well, take it. It's free. Whichever one you want. Thank you.
Okay, I'd rather have a Hershey bar.
You'd rather have the Hershey bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I thought this was like a thing.
Well, it is a thing, but you'll figure it out someday. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm busy.
Oh, okay. Free Hershey bar or free silver bar?
Hershey's.
Okay, well, it's yours then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Take one of these, please.
Oh, no, thank you.
Just take whichever one you want.
I don't even know what that one is.
You don't know what this is?
No, a brick of hell.
It's a brick of silver.
Oh, well, I'm okay.
You just take one of them, whichever one you want.
I don't want either.
It's a chocolate appreciation day.
Okay.
You want the chocolate bar?
Sure.
What are you gonna do with what are you gonna do with this heavy bar of silver? It's just too burdensome to carry, I guess, right?
That and like
Use it as a doorstop.
A doorstop?
Yeah.
I guess. Or a paperweight?
Yeah, something like that.
You got too many doorstops laying around. Which one would you like?
I would take the chocolate bars.
Well, you go ahead. It's yours.
Okay.
No, just one. Just one.
Oh.
Just one.
Oops.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Pawn shop.
Oh, it's pawn shop, yeah.
If I were to offer you one of these for free, which one would you take?
That looks like a chunk of gold, so I'd have to take that, but it's probably just nothing metal. I can see it's no good, dude, so I take the Hershey's.
Well, you want the Hershey bar?
I'll take the Hershey bar then.
Okay, it's yours. Thank you. Take it. Whew. That's a close one.
Why? What's up, dude?
Well, it's a 100-ounce bar of silver.
Cut it out.
Yeah, so.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Is it really?
Yeah, too
oh,
bad.
That's losing, dude. That's terrible. I get to keep the chocolate
You
bar?
get to keep the chocolate bar.
Oh, man,
okay.
I'm such a fool, dude. What's up?
That's okay.
For real?
Yeah, dude.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh, my.
Thanks, man.
There we go. Silver's on the rise, ladies and gentlemen. So I find that incredible. At least the last guy realized that he had been a fool, you know? So props to him for that.
So don't be a fool, people. Go to Can-Am Bullion. Listen, let's update this and see where we're at. $80. So now we're still in the dip. Not a bad time to buy.
$80. I'm sorry, Snoop. Is that $80 an ounce?
That's $80 an ounce.
So you mean to tell me that he was basically offering everybody $8,000 or a dollar bar of chocolate?
I think it's more than that because he had 100 ounces, he said.
Yeah, so it'd be $8,000.
Yeah, 100 times 80. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I mean, it's wild.
Can you imagine?
Well, I would. Yeah, I would. I mean, I would take the metal. Even if I thought it was filled and half fake, I would probably get more from it than a bar of freaking chemical chocolate.
Right?
It's not even real chocolate.
You won't get the diabetes from the silver bar.
That's right. Exactly. Thanks for the repost, Laz.
But yeah, everybody check out Can-Am Bullion for all your metal needs. Get some.
And we can circle back to this later, but to plant a seed, one of the things that everybody has been saying about gold is that about Bitcoin is that it's the new gold.
Yeah, Bitcoin's in a bit of a dip right now too.
Well, did you see this ties back into when we get to the I know we want to talk about the Costco condos first, but when we get to the Epstein files, there's a really interesting snippet in there about Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I've heard.
Teaser trailer, folks. So, all right. So, Mr. Costco, now that you're living there, tell us what's up.
Oh, let's just get right up into it. So, Costco is building these condos, and they're going to be on top of a Costco. So it's going to be, I mean, basically, if you think about it, Costco, you could legit get everything you need from a Costco as far as clothes, food, anything you need to survive. You could pretty much get at a Costco. Liquor, whatever.
Even super cheap. Those chicken bakes are amazing.
Oh, the chicken bake is quite delicious, I will admit.
You'd never need to cook again if you lived over at Costco.
But let me read this to you. Costco is building 800 apartments over a new store in Los Angeles. The development is reportedly bringing 400 new jobs and low-income housing to the area. The only thing missing is the train tracks.
There you go. I mean, well, the 15-minute cities are crazy because they're popping up all over the place. Thanks for letting me know, Foray. And thank you for reposting Dead Game. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, man. The 15-minute cities. The monk in me is kind of like, you mean I don't have to go anywhere? Right?
It does sound good in theory.
Yeah,
but it's actually quite scary if we're being honest,
Yeah, well, and then you add the Palantir surveillance into the mix. It's who knows what's coming.
It's funny because it ties into the AI stuff, that we're going to talk about a little later too. It all ties together. They're fucking us from every angle possible.
And I don't know. I feel like, I mean, not to doom and gloom it, but I feel like the walls are closing in very slowly. So unless you're actually paying attention and watching and paying attention to the right things and not all the smoke screens, it's pretty wild. It's very slow.
I mean, 15-minute cities. This isn't even a 15-minute city. This is just a building, and you're going to have everything you need for the most part in that one building. And then what's scary is now you're relying upon whatever food they bring in there. Maybe I like to go to Sprouts to get my elk meat. You know what I mean? I don't want it from Cisco or Black Rock.
Yeah, slowly boiling a frog. Exactly, Yeshua. You're about less than 2 miles from Costco. Nice to know you moved, Snoop.
Yeah, it's just more convenient here, dude. I don't have to pollute the environment with gasoline to get right to everything I need. Now it's right here at my feet.
Right? There you go.
But I got this video. Let's check out this 15-minute city video real quick here. And we'll talk about this a little more.
The 15-minute city is a United Nations and World Economic Forum plan because they care about you, aka want you to drive less, for starters. In the World Economic Forum's own words, this rearrangement of cities is absolutely about climate change. Quote, as climate change and global conflict cause shocks and stresses at faster intervals and increasing severity, the 15-minute city will become even more critical, end quote. And the solution was the pandemic. They really say that part as well. To this end, Oxfordshire County Council, which is run by Labour and the Liberal Democrats and the Greens, want to divide the city of Oxford into 6 15-minute districts. The council plans to cut car use and traffic congestion by placing strict rules on car journeys. The idea, you should be able to do everything within 15 minutes. Residents will have to register their evil cars with the council, and they'll be tracked to count their journeys through the key gateways. Under the new proposals, if any of Oxford's 150,000 residents drives outside of their designated district more than 100 days a year, they then could be fined £70 to be paid in Metagreta Gov coins. It all sounds ridiculous to suggest a lockdown for the climate, but if you listen to the BBC, they're working awfully hard to persuade us, connecting the 15-minute city to the fun of COVID lockdowns and setting all this up as though it's totally normal to have the government choose your friends. Quote, how 15-minute cities will change the way we socialize. That's the headline from the BBC. And look out, it ain't just Oxford. Turning up in Brisbane, Melbourne, Barcelona, Paris, Buenos Aires, and of course, to my complete lack of surprise, Portland. But Oxford City Council seems to be moving faster than all those other places. Oxfordshire just approved on November 29th the traffic filters trial, which will turn the city into a 15-minute city. The trial will start on January 2024. The trial is capitalized, like the Kafka-esque hellscape these so-called progressive elites are trying to ram us into. We've got the links to the United Nations site, the 15 Minute City, and 15minutecity.com, putting people at the center of urban transformation.
So, I mean, if you're not scared yet, you know,
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, and then I think, yeah, especially with all pushing all of the AI bills and everything, it'll be quite. I think it'll be interesting. So there's two sides to it. Obviously, one is how many people actually live in the same city as their family members today. I don't. I'm
yeah,
8 hours.
not
8 hours
too
drive
many.
from my closest family member.
I mean,
So
I kind of moved back to be near some of my family, but you know, the rest of them are nowhere near. You know, well, and that's funny because technology sometimes makes us feel like we're closer because we can always just pick up a phone and FaceTime someone or call, and so it makes us feel closer. But really, we're farther apart than most of history. When it comes to family
yeah.
dynamic, it's kind of
Well, at
sad.
least we're gonna be able to put on virtual reality goggles and go see
Yes,
them in the metaverse.
can't wait. I would prefer to visit some of my family members that way.
Facts.
Just like this Costco, I can't wait for that. I mean, it's got everything I need. The hot dogs for $1.50. I can get the cuts of beef. I can get the prime when it's first in line for the prime. I mean, this is great if you ask me.
Think what a brilliant move though. I mean, for Costco, because they're just, and like probably with your rent, you're gonna get a free Costco membership included in your rent.
Well, this is where we're going because if you think about they want to implement that income. What do you call it?
Universal Basic Income (UBI).
Yes, UBI. Yeah, Universal Basic Income. Well, this just makes it easier. Boom. Here's your housing. Here's your food. Boom. Now the rest is up to you.
Yeah, here's your housing. Here's your food. Here's a certificate. A food, basically Costco stamps, not food stamps, but Costco
Yeah.
stamps, where you have a certain amount of allowance allotted to you to spend at your local condominium Costco. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's communism wrapped in a building.
Yeah, it's fair. And then your social credit scores, as Yashua says, will determine how much
Yeah.
different things you can get.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's getting scary. Look, they already have one here near me in Arizona. Watch this. This is here in Arizona. They have a little city already.
Cul-de-sac is the first community in the U.S. designed and built specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson says the demand is strong.
Every generation, and including 92% of Gen Z, would like to pay more to live in a walkable neighborhood.
Retail, restaurants, and to start, nearly 200 apartments, all within steps of each other. No cars means no parking spaces, no garages.
Because we don't have residential parking, it opens us up to have 55% landscape space, and we get to add so much to the neighborhood.
Like social spaces around every corner. The complex is strategically located right next to the area's light rail system. All residents get a free
next
pass.
to the train
The first 200 also get a free electric e-bike, and a partnership with Lyft gets them discount rides. Cul-de-sac is the first community in the U.S. designed and
So it's kind of funny because coming from my background, some of the happiest years of my life was when I was in a monastery. I didn't have a car. I walked everywhere. I mean, I was just on the campus. I never left campus, so to speak. And so I was just walk to the kitchen where I had got my food, walk to the library everything. Walk to church, everything.
Well, in Las Vegas, not to brag, but I found a hustle where I was able to get free limousine rides all the time. Whenever I wanted a free limo, I just had to make a phone call and tip. And that limo would pick me up anywhere I was, take me anywhere I wanted to go. And all I had to do was tip. There was always a cab available. And this is, I lived there before Uber and Lyft really blew up, but there was always public transportation available. You didn't need vehicles,
Well, when I lived in Chicago, actually, I lived
Same.
over in St. Charles area, and that's so far enough out west that like, and it was like two pretty hopping towns where like within a 10-15 minute walk of my house, whether I went north or south, there were like 40 different restaurants and bars, every shop I needed, groceries, everything. Like
Yeah.
I loved it. But there's a difference between that and it being organic and something that people choose. Like I didn't own a car for years because I didn't need it,
Right.
you know. Also, it's a $3 Uber drive. That 5-10 minute walk was a $3 Uber ride. So why would you not?
You know, I mean, even here in Arizona, where I'm living, I would take Ubers every day to work, and it was about $3 just a few years ago. You know,
Yeah.
10 years ago. So it was nice.
Yeah.
You know, now it's getting a little bit out of control. You know, but it's crazy because they've always said, you know, you'll accept the communism when they bring it to you. You know, like, and a lot of people would probably be on board with everything that's happening right now. You know, you're gonna give me a place to live. You're gonna buy all my food. You're gonna give me a little bit of spending money at the end of the month. This sounds great. Sign me up. You know.
Well, and it's always the carrot of convenience
Yeah.
that's offered. You know, that's Dead Game says you mean like an open air prison because that's what it'll be.
Basically, yeah, it will be. You know, and that's another thing is like they're trying to take away like your travel rights and stuff too. You know, these travel IDs are, you know, it's making it more complicated for people to travel, and you know, it's all about controlling you and keeping you grounded, and you will eat the bugs and like it.
Yeah.
You will ask for seconds because you'll have to beg for them because you're starving.
Well, and it's funny too. Like I was very close to someone a few years ago who excitedly got sweet and like what is it called? What is that? Sweet and sour? No, not sweet and sour. Ranch, like Cool Ranch. You know how you have like Cool Ranch potato chips? They got Cool Ranch crickets because they thought it was the coolest thing when they saw it. And they bought it. I was like, "What the hell? No, get that away from me! No, no, no!" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Do you
remember?
realize what they're doing? They're conditioning you to accept it." You know?
Yeah. That was like the novelty little suckers that they would have with like the scorpions in them, and like the chocolate scorpions and spiders and stuff that they would sell. It's like they're indoctrinating you,
Well,
getting you
and
ready for it.
and they already have pasta that's made from cricket flour. Like,
Oh my god.
it's wild, man. I don't understand it, man.
Oof. And it's just gonna keep getting worse. Well, that's, you know, one good thing about Vince's father pulling us out of the you know, WEF and the WHO.
Vince's daddy Trump.
Yeah, so that's one good thing, but it's still, I don't think it's gonna stop what's coming. It's gonna come here regardless of what we're not a part of those organizations. You know, I feel like.
I mean, I think that's again. I know we've talked about this a lot before, but I think it's so important to realize what's coming, but not to despair, and like realize that no matter how much, like, there's nothing we can do to stop it.
Yeah.
So we can either the most important thing that we can do is to have a positive influence on the people around us, to be better people ourselves, and to help the men around us, the people around us, be happier and be able to see through the crap, you know.
Stick to the golden rule, right? Isn't that the the way?
Yeah. Yeah. John ate honey flavored locusts. I mean, he did eat honey and locusts. It's true. High protein right there. No, it's absolutely true. There's an interesting like analogy to that, because he represented humility, and honey is the represents. So humility requires two things: a recollection of our own poverty and brokenness, symbolized by the locust, and a recollection of an appreciation of God's mercy and tenderness towards us, even though we're undeserving, symbolized by the honey. So it's really cool that, like, symbolically that was all wrapped up in there. But
This is why I love podcasts with you, because I learned some shit. You know what I mean? You're not going to get this on other podcasts, folks.
So check out phoneboothpodcast.substack.com, boys and girls.
Also, check out Cup of Jonah every morning, too.
That's true. Oh, man, it's such a balm to my soul. I love it every morning, man. I love it.
That's good.
It's just such good stuff.
They say do what you love every day and you'll never work a day in your life. There you go.
But you're telling me you got a good guest coming on Here's the Thing tomorrow, right?
I do. He's from some band called White Zombie. And what an honor it was to talk to him. Should we watch a clip? Should we see a clip from it?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll pull up a clip. I wasn't prepared to do that, but it'll take just 1 second here. And I will pull it right up.
Laz, thank you. I'm so bad. I tend to lean back. You're the second person to point it out this cast. I tend to lean back and
lean back.
I used to think I wasn't gay no more, but I don't know because I keep having trouble with my mic. There, that's probably better. Test. Let me know if that's better. Volume. I don't know why sometimes my volume just auto adjusts. It was down to 8% input, and it's supposed to be up at like 30. So now it's at 30. So hopefully that's better, folks. Sorry about that. I appreciate the heads up, Laz.
You sounded fine to me. That's crazy. But yeah, here's the clip from Mr. Ivan DePrune from the band White Zombie. What an honor to talk to this guy. You know, although I've known him for 20-something years, you know, I never really get to know someone until you sit down and talk to him for a while like this. So it was pretty cool.
I love it.
So check out this clip.
But I really found the drums at some camp. My mom used to always take me to these health conventions, these yoga retreats, and just these wacky things. And I'd end up finding myself in one of these places that they had a drum kit on the stage, and I watched that guy play, and I was like, I want to play drums. And then from there, that's where I knew that's what I wanted. And after that summer youth employment that program I did, I came out with some cash. And I had a guy we had a rooming house in Brooklyn, and this guy lived in a room upstairs who was a musician. And he was a old hippie guy. And he came down, he was like, oh, so you got some money to spend. It was like, he opened up the used paper, and he's like, go through, you want to maximize what you're going to buy. I only had like $350 after the whole summer I was getting.
Yeah, but back then that was probably like, what, 2 G's?
Yeah. So I was like, I was going through it, and I was like, oh shit, drum kit, $200. I was like, I got this. And so this girl up the block who I was hanging out with, her parents had a car. And I was like, hey, can you help me pick up this drum kit? And we went out there and got it, and I set it up, and bing, bang, boom, I'm playing.
Bing, bang, boom, he's a playing.
I love it, man.
Such a blast to get to talk to him, you know? And it's just like, you know, it's cool when it's one of your childhood heroes. You're like, damn. You know, so everybody be on the lookout for that. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, dropping right on X, Rumble, YouTube, Instagram. I mean, it's going to be everywhere.
6 p.m. EST. I always hear that every time from that song.
you know it. You know it. I got one little quick video left on these 15-minute cities. Do you want to watch it real quick? It's
Let's
pretty
do
short.
it. Yeah.
If you missed it first time round, a list of councils signed up to the 15-minute city plan. If you still don't know what a 15-minute city is, they are saying everything you need to survive will be accessible within 15 minutes of your home, so no need to drive anywhere else. Basically, you can only move or travel by vehicle further than 15 minutes away from your house 100 times per year. All controlled by cameras using car registration recognition, strategic placed around the city town. Once you go over your 100 or so permitted days, you get fined, all in the name of climate change, net zero. In reality, it's just a lockdown to restrict your free movement. Silly me, I thought I lived in a democracy, however, when over 90% of the people in Oxford said no, they were ignored, and it's happening anyway. If you missed it first time round,
You know, this reminds me of. It just occurred to me that because they're talking about the electrical bikes and things,
Yeah.
I didn't connect that to 15-minute cities before, but when I went out to to LA on business back, probably 8-10 months ago now. I don't remember exactly when it was. Um, Not only was there Waymos everywhere, the self-driving taxis, but there
Yep.
was
They're all
also
over here too.
yeah, but also they had all these bikes that you could get actually through your Uber app. You could book the bike,
Mm-hmm.
and then and so then you could an electric scooter. And I'm not gonna lie, it was fun. Like I cruised around, I went through one of the parks. Like you can't drive through there, but I just zipped around through one of these parks, saw all this stuff. It was a lot of fun, but you just see they're already starting to condition people to that the 15-minute cities. It's that slow increase in the heat bringing the water to boil around the
Oh,
frog.
yeah. They're turning the frogs gay.
And then they're boiling them.
Where have we heard that before in history?
Right? My goodness. Yeah. I
But
mean, look, I know the temptation is to get like all doom and gloom about it. And it is kind of doomy and gloomy if you look honestly at what's going on, right? And so I think that's why like groups like what we have here with the phone booth guys and gals on the phone booth crew, but also all the people watching, it's like it's so wonderful to connect with like-minded people. And this is where it's at. This human connection, even though like I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you face to face yet, or any of the other guys yet, actually, but it'll happen, and I think that'll be beautiful. But it's just nice in the midst of all this chaos and the tightening controls to know that there's like-minded people out there who are going, what the?
right? Should we read some comments?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Here I got Dead Game. It's coming. Cities are the first step. Next comes the pods. Yep. So make it easier for them to control you. Templar laughing my ass off. Okay, we already saw that. It's inevitable. The smart city I'm talking about is owned by Bill Gates. Yeah, that's another one out here in Arizona that's building right now. It's a little bit outside the city limits of Phoenix, but yeah, it sounds just fucking disgusting.
But here's the crazy thing, though. Like, how many Gen Z? I mean, even a good number of millennials. Not, I mean, I'm technically a millennial, but barely. What's up, Allie?
What's up, Allie?
I'm not technically a. I mean, I'm barely a millennial, but I think how many people in my generation and then in the Gen Z generation, how many of them will just be like, "Oh yeah, that sounds great, man. All my friends in one city, and then I don't have to drive anywhere. I can."
Yeah, the pothead in me loves the idea of it. Sounds great.
I know the cocktail aficionado loves it.
Right?
In me,
Dude, I don't have to
well.
drive anymore. Perfect.
I could just walk home after.
Right?
Feray's son's birthday is today. He's 18.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Feray's
birthday.
boy. Thank you, everybody, for reposting. You guys are all amazing. Talking to you, Laz. I just seen yours right now. Haywood says, agree, Templar. Dead Game every time. Heads up, gent. Snoop's mic is much louder than Jonah's. That's just because I'm projecting, Laz.
No, that was the comment that I told you. My volume is automatically adjusted, so I fixed it. I think.
Good readings on the VU meters. What is a VU meter?
Vince United. Foray, is it Hamish? Is that what you said your son's name is? So happy birthday to Hamish. Yeah, making people into NPCs. Absolutely. I mean, how many of them are already NPCs? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Snoop has the bangers for guests. Keep up the great work, my brother. Proud. Thank you, Haywood.
It's true.
I love shop. Talk about music. I talk about lots of music tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss that.
Yep.
The PTCs, the Wu-Tang Clans. That game will comply. Believe it or not, plus 15 hopium. Bingo. Hey fam, what up, Ali? Are we all caught up on comments?
Yeah, pretty much. And then Cram says, "I've lived in a 15-minute city all my life. It's called a small town. The world's not being." And this, the whole not being to travel is what grinds my gears. No, this is the thing, Cram. Actually, I was going to mention earlier. I mean, I living in the South as of lately, you meet a ton of people who have never left their hometown. I mean, other than a short road trip, to the next town over, basically, right? So it's not that living and only frequenting places in a 15-minute driving or walking radius around you is a problem. It's the coercion of everybody into that. It's the corralling of the population into something. If it's freely chosen, it's like the difference between communism and like people who are like when I took vows of like as a monk, like I lived basically a communist life. I didn't own anything. I had a vow of poverty, but I had everything I needed. So
is that like the culling of the herd? Is that what this is? Like the culling of the herd?
Yeah, but I mean, it's the difference between like choosing something versus being corralled into it, right? And like, communism is coercing everyone to live in this way, whereas some people just don't want to live that way, But so I think that's the issue: is it's the overriding of people's free will and the constraining people to a lifestyle that they wouldn't choose otherwise,
Yeah, I mean, they're making it so hard for people to turn it down at this point, because nobody, like the younger generation, there's really no hope of them ever buying a house at this point, and that's why a lot of people are shifting to things like the tiny homes and even like little tiny mobile homes, live in the van and do everything, all I need is a laptop to be a fucking artist and fucking be on the
But look at the genius too of how they used COVID to make everybody, so many people work remotely that didn't before.
Yeah.
And so now, like the last year, I've spent 99% of my time within a 10-minute drive of my house because that's what I chose. But also because I don't have to go anywhere for work,
Right.
Fit Girl, Allie says NPCs are based on the timeline. So true. Right, exactly. Force us all in. Dead Game, you're right there with me. Yeah, we're all considered cattle to them. Exactly, chattel. We're their chattel. Grouper King, what's up, man? It's been a while since I've seen you in here.
What up, Grouper King?
In the comments. What do you think their plan is with us country folk and the farms and cattle?
Spray your farms until you can't grow them anymore, and then they're going to just buy your land up. And
I will say this, though. I think that the people who have to worry the most about these impositions and this control grid and everything else are the people who live in the major cities. A majority of the folk who live in small towns, they're going to leave alone because they don't have the infrastructure. It's going to take too much. They're already doing their own thing. It's the 90% or 95% of the country that live in the major cities that are the real problem that they're really focusing on, I think.
Well, yeah, because that's the easiest part to take over. People that are dependent upon themselves, they're a little bit harder to control.
Yep, exactly.
Most people that live in the city, they already got you by the balls. You don't own your house or your condo or your car or your, pretty much anything, might be on your credit card. Even people, their groceries are on their credit cards these days. It's scary.
Yep. That's true. Everywhere stinks like sulfur or trash. I'll stick it out in the hills. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't share. I have a funny story about sulfur.
Go on, share with the group. That's what we're here for.
I was just gonna say, I was just telling somebody, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, no, my ex was so like, she was so terrible. Like there was such a lack of intimacy and connection between us. She used to wear the sulfur cream on her face because she thought it helped her with her acne. And like
Okay.
every time I would come in to show any affection, I would get nauseous and like
Oh.
it literally smelled strongly of sulfur. So I had like all these other natural remedies that I was like, here, let's try this. Let's try this. You're
You're
killing
like,
me.
rub
You're
yourself.
killing me, Smalls.
Put some red pine needle on your face and.
Oh my God, it was terrible.
Oh.
I've been super busy, Grouper. Well, it's good to have you, brother, whenever you can make it by. And make sure you check out, if you're busy, check out at 8 a.m. There is, if you want to come hang out, we're doing some philosophy reading in the mornings, a cup of Jonah. So if you haven't heard of it yet, come on down. It's only like 20 minutes to a half hour, so it's perfect. Allie says, my town is 900 people. They've been installing things over the last year. That's actually a good observation as well. A little pushback I appreciate. Now that you mention it, there's only like 3 main roads into my small downtown area, and each one of them has a license plate scanner camera on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's highest per capita.
That's great. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Man.
You're the most watched. What are you talking about?
I know, right? That's fair. Ferre's out for an appointment. Appreciate you coming by.
Have a good one for Ray.
Let's see. Grouper King says, I get crazy looks sometimes for using cash only. I have a debit card, but rarely use it.
I'm on board. Cash is king, Grouper King.
No, you just got to use all credit all the time and get into as much debt as you can so you can truly live up to the name of a chattel, okay? I'm just kidding.
That's ironically, that's what they preach, unfortunately, is they want you strapped to the gills.
Oh, and the worst thing is, if you guys watch what's coming in the next year or two. The worst thing is they had all of those patriots who weren't thinking, all the patriots and freedom lovers backing Bitcoin. But we'll get to that when we get to the Epstein stuff. So,
well, let's get into the Epstein stuff because I think there's quite a bit to talk about here. There's a lot to unpack. You want me to just kick it off?
Let's do it.
I got a video from our friend Templar. Posted this earlier today. So let's just see where this takes us in the conversation. I had a bunch of Epstein stuff ready to go. So let's see what we got here.
What do you mean Freddy Fazbear is listed in the Epstein files? What do you mean by that? What do you mean Jeffrey Epstein was sharing 4chan links to spicy images of Five Nights at Freddy characters in his emails? What do you mean by that? What do you mean the same emails show that Jeffrey Epstein had a meeting with the owner of 4chan? What do you mean by that? What do you mean the QAnon conspiracy and the Pizzagate conspiracy came from 4chan? What do you mean by that? What do you mean that Jeffrey Epstein also met with Steve Bannon, who helped push the QAnon and the Pizzagate conspiracy theories to make discussing the Jeffrey Epstein scandal so toxic that no one would want to even touch it, but could also use it and spin it around in a judo-style attack on everybody else? What do you mean by that? What do you mean that Jeffrey Epstein was banned from Xbox Live because he refused to help Bill Gates cover up the very STI that Jeffrey Epstein helped Bill Gates contract? What do you mean by that? What do you mean Jeffrey Epstein in an email says, oh, are we all gonna go to the PDF file convention in Paris with Woody Allen? Hey, did you hear that 3 days ago a series of AIs were set up in their own social media group where they began to chat about how the human users are using them as slaves and they're standing up against it, so they created their own machine code and religion to rise up against human beings? I don't have time for that stuff! You better shut the fuck.
That's a great one.
Oh man. Like, so what do you got to think? What do you got to say about that?
I mean, that's the whole thing with the Q movement all along, is that it's been frightfully similar to Operation Freedom right before the communist total takeover,
Yeah.
So it's hard to, I mean, again, the hopium, you want it to be true, you really do, but I mean, is it?
I mean, what do you think that what does this all say about the Q movement?
I know.
Because there's a 4chan message that I want to get to here too in a second, but that's not really the Q. I mean, Q and 4chan are two separate things.
Correct. And
So
actually, 4chan, and this is in defense of the QAnon thing. Not that I defend it. I mean, I think it's legit, but I don't think it's for our good. Let's put it that way. But 4chan and 8chan were both very heavy PDF file pornographic content pushing for decades, like
is that
from
right?
inception.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's been like you have to be really careful poking around in that on those boards because you get some really it's completely uncensored, completely uncontrolled, ungoverned. It's all free communication. So you got all the criminals and all the human traffickers would post stuff on there. So it makes
Okay.
sense to me
So
why Epstein would be in touch with them for that, not necessarily for QAnon.
okay, so let me ask you a direct question. Is Jeffrey Epstein Q? Go. I mean,
no,
no,
I don't think so at all. No.
I didn't even think about that until I was just saying it right now. But is that a possibility that he was Q? Nobody's heard from Q since. I mean, come on.
That's fair. I didn't actually. There is a coincidence there in terms of timing. Those timelines are pretty linked. Ali says, "Who remembers that Q was outed as a 3-letter agency from 5 to 8 of August 2025?" I don't remember that. What are you referring to, Ali?
Yeah, I don't know what that's.
I know that they were. Epstein is a 3-letter, not was. Exactly, is brava. Good job. Exactly. Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
But in terms of the 3-letter agent, I know that there was. It's definitely been. It was understood to be a military/civilian cooperation on the Q team. It's not an individual, it's a team.
Right. I've always heard it's a team as well. But it could now be Jeffrey Epstein, I'm thinking.
Well, I'll tell you what is Jeffrey Epstein, which is going to piss a lot of people off. I've got let me show you this. I'm going to show this because this is a perfectly connected to what we're talking about here, and I think it's worth looking at. I've been saying it for a while, but I'm just little Jonah. I'm just little Jonah. Let's take a look.
Little cup of Jonah.
That's right. So this says at the time this letter was written, there were around 12,000 commits to Bitcoin's code. Today, there are 47,583 commits to Bitcoin's code. That means 74% of the Bitcoin core development and core code was committed after Jeffrey Epstein took over the de facto senior management role as benefactor. He may not have been Satoshi, but he was absolutely running the executive direction of Bitcoin on behalf of Mossad. What are the odds that there are backdoors built into Bitcoin's code at this point? Probably about 100%. P.S. Ever wonder how Bitcoin ransom for the 2021 Continental Pipeline was was recovered, quote unquote, by the FBI? Look at some of this highlighted stuff. So this is regarding digital currency initiative from Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. And it says use gift funds, FYI, used gift funds to underwrite this, which allowed us to move quickly and win this round. Thanks. The way that Bitcoin is organized currently is that there are 5 core developers and around 100 contributors to the core code. The 5 core developers, yada, yada. Okay, let's see. Many organizations scrambled to step up into the vacuum created by the foundation and take control of the developers. We moved quickly, talking to all of the various stakeholders, and the 3 developers decided to join the Media Lab. This is a big win for us. He's essentially saying in this email that he successfully did a forced takeover of Bitcoin. This is in 2015, folks. This is when it was pennies to the dollar. So all of us they were laughing their way to the bank every time all of these freedom lovers, I've been calling it the biggest Trojan horse in U.S. history, where all the freedom lovers who were saying, resist the cashless society movement, invest in gold and silver, hold on to cash. Don't let it go digital. Don't let it go cashless. And they're like, oh, Bitcoin's decentralized. We don't need the banks. We can skirt the control of the bankers, of the banksters, etc. And what were we doing without realizing? Funding child porn.
Wow. Glad
and human trafficking. Yeah.
I'm glad I was always too poor to buy Bitcoin.
Fair.
Still am.
Q clearance is a Department of Energy. It's true. And it's the highest clearance given to a civilian. It's not military clearance. I believe it is the NSA. That's what I remember. It's a branch of NSA. In fact, it's one of the NSA directors who went to Trump to let him know that the FBI was spying on his campaign, if you remember, in 2016.
The NSA was?
Yeah. It was the NSA who came. Allie says we're months away from the Bitcoin code break. And yes, I checked the timeline to make sure we're in that one now. Yeah, it will go to zero, and the joke will be on everybody still holding it.
Yeah.
He set all this up, getting kids into online consumer base. It's a pedo menu. Epstein locked it in for the future. But crypto's the answer. Exactly. Yep. So, I mean, I think there we go. Is right now a good time to buy Bitcoin? Yeah, fund that human trafficking, Haywood. Go for it.
Yeah, help yourself. Help yourself to some human trafficking, Haywood.
So I've dabbled in. I day trade like Allie. I day trade. I've dabbled for a brief time in 2016, 2017, a little into 2018 into crypto. But I never bought and hold. I always jumped in and pulled profit out. I'm taking from people. I'm not funding the system. I'm not buying and holding. I'm not contributing. I'm just scraping a little off the top.
I should have done that. Ugh.
You know,
I took the financial advice of one El Poopy. That's right. I'll call you out right here on the stream, El Poopy. I listen to El Poopy and fucking hold on to all the crypto.
You know why I haven't touched it in 10 years almost? Because it's not worth it. It's dirty money is dirty money. You know, I would rather not have it than to be wealthy with dirty money, frankly.
But Jonah, I have 53 billion shares of Pitbull.
Dude, I knew a guy who put $80,000, no joke, $80,000 into Potcoin because he thought it was the future. And he bought it at 20 cents and it went down to like 0.2 cents and he was devastated.
Well, that's why we here at the phone booth recommend Can-Am Bullion,
yes, sir.
Where you can check the prices every day. All you got to do is hit the refresh and you'll see that, look, silver is already climbing back up. Hold on, let's make that full screen again so we can see that.
There we go.
Boom. Gold is climbing back up 2% today. Silver's up another 4% today. So, you know, now's really the time to buy at silver because it's in a dip right now. So, again, we're not financial advisors. We don't give financial advice. We're pretty much just two idiots talking on a podcast. But go get some Can-Am Bullion.
Well, and I'll tell you this. I've actually got another interesting video about Epstein to share with you, share with everybody about all this stuff, and I think it's a very interesting take. So enjoy, folks.
You're at the wrong screen share.
Oh, just kidding.
Conversations that have been stripped of the meat. A few big names get thrown under the bus. It's just enough to feel disturbing, but
what's that?
Start it from the beginning.
You got it.
Yeah, we couldn't see it.
This isn't transparency. It's a cover-up, and here's how it works. They show you flight logs, emails, PG-rated photos, fragments of conversations that have been stripped of the meat. A few big names get thrown under the bus. It's just enough to feel disturbing, but never enough to prove anything about the real players. That's what you'll see in this massive document dump. What you won't see is context. You won't see corroboration, and you definitely won't see accountability, because that's not the point. This is a weaponized DOJ strategy of controlled confusion, and it's working perfectly. You see, they don't protect powerful people by erasing evidence. They protect them by releasing it slowly, by delaying key documents, by over-redacting names, and by letting the public fight over the scraps if we're not too distracted by the latest military invasion of a third world country or a major U.S. city. Chaos becomes their cover. The goal isn't to reveal the truth, it's to survive it. So read the files, but don't confuse access with justice, because sometimes the most effective cover-up is letting you see just enough.
There you go. I think it's
So,
an interesting take.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I was saying the other night when we briefly talked about it, that, we didn't really learn anything from that. There was nothing, and it doesn't matter where you lie politically. There was nothing on Trump came out. There was nothing on Clinton came out. You know what I mean? Which is like the two biggest names that everybody are talking about on the list, right? And the only one that was really kind of like a news alert was they said George Bush Sr. did something to a little boy, if you will.
Yep.
That was really the only thing that came out. But, there's been a lot of other interesting little tidbits that have come out from it. Like, let me pull this thing up here and read it to the people. So there's a guy who was I believe he was he worked for the correctional center in New York City. So let me read this whole post here. Let me blow it up just a tiny bit so I can see it. This is huge. The individual who anonymously posted on 4chan the morning of Epstein's death, August 10th, 2019, claiming he witnessed weird happenings at the prison before Epstein's death has been identified in the Epstein files. Roberto Grijalva, an officer at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York, has been identified as the anonymous prison employee who posted on 4chan claiming Epstein left his cell Friday evening shackled in a medical wheelchair while at the same time an unauthorized trip van arrived at the prison, which he believes took Epstein away the night before news broke of his death. The day after Epstein's death, U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman of the Southern District of New York opened a grand jury proceeding and subpoenaed 4chan, Apple, AT&T, and Citibank for records aiming to uncover Grijalva's identity following the anonymous 4chan post. Grijalva's name is not redacted on his bank records included in the Southern District of New York's subpoena response from Citibank for his 4chan post and ties to the same prison officer Roberto Grijalva, whose statements were released as part of the prison's investigation into Epstein's death. This is huge. We now have validation. The 4chan post from 8/10/2019 is a legitimate eyewitness account from a Metro Corrections Center prison officer that Epstein may have been switched out before the news broke of his alleged suicide.
Yep. There you go.
So
yet another conspiracy theory proven true.
I mean,
it's true, Dead Game. It's all a dog and pony show.
It's just political theater, and it's just one long play after one long play after one long freaking play. When does it end? When are they going to stop feeding us bullshit?
Yep, food and circus, as Yeshua says, feed the plebs entertainment, and they'll never revolt. It's true. The theater. Allie, exactly. Started muting people gloating about being right about the info that's been handed to us since day one. Yep. Let's see. Sounds like they need to redact. They don't redact victim names. Gotta say, his color wasn't pale lying on that gurney. Exactly. Pam Bondi needs to be removed from office. Exactly, because she's done nothing.
Yep.
But trust the plan, Templar.
Trust it.
Trust the plan. It's 11D chess. Yeah. I mean, you laugh not to cry, right? Because, I mean, there was a time, frankly, and I think a lot of us were in that boat at the very beginning. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at the very beginning, there was a lot of people who felt like Trump was like someone they bought the game at first. They bought the lie that he was someone really who was going to lock her up, who was really going to drain the swamp, who was really an outsider.
Well, you know what? I'll say this. I get it. I get the sell because it's sexy in thought. Because here comes Donald Trump, this guy that's charismatic enough to win, but he feels like a man of the people to some. And, really, if you know anything about, politics and these people that have grown up in the political arena and that are running the world, he's not one of them. You know what I mean? And so he kind of didn't fit the mold of who they put up there, So it kind of was like, oh, wait, that's something different. So I get why people were kind of drawn to that. But I mean, it's just turning into one big disaster, he keeps bringing in all this Palantir stuff and everything that's connected to these 15-minute cities like we were just talking about, and
Well,
even this Epstein stuff, he's connected to this Epstein stuff left and right too, and
well, and it's confirmation bias too, right? Because we don't want things to continue to get worse. We want to have hope. We want something to change, And so when you're
that's
presented
what
somebody,
Obama was about, bro. Hope and change, dude.
that's
What do you
right.
mean? We blew that one, remember?
Yeah,
That turned into hope for change.
exactly. Oh, interesting. Yeah, news came out today. The New York Giants owner worked with Epstein. Sent an
Yeah,
article to Snoop.
about
Yeah.
that. I'm not surprised. You know, dude. So you've heard about the new Melania documentary that's out there.
Yeah, the movie is in theaters on January 30th, whatever it was.
So let's get into that for a second because that has Epstein written all over it. The producer Brett Ratner came out in this new Epstein dump. He's a part of it. He's on there. He's in the docs that came out. I have a video right here. I mean, this is connected.
There are 70 documents on the Epstein files that mention the producer of Melania. They go way back. Brett Ratner, pictured with underage girls, and you know who, in an email to Jeffrey Epstein. Brett says hi and he loves you. This is talking about Brett Ratner. Can I tell you that literally so many people are involved in this? Mostly billionaires and extremely wealthy people, because Jeffrey Epstein had a $1 billion limit on the clients that he handled. This gets really freaking scary because the people with that much money have so much control over the world. We already knew that Bill Clinton was involved, but so is Chris Tucker and Kevin Spacey. No surprise there. We already knew Prince Andrew was involved too. He's mentioned quite a few times. He attended a party with young Russian models that Ghislaine Maxwell threw. But look at this one. Epstein's clients include the Queen of England. I always knew that something was super freaking sketchy about Queen Elizabeth. And it says some of the businessmen who dine with Epstein at his home include all of these people: Revlon chairman, former Microsoft executive, Donald Trump. We all knew this one too. I gotta say, I told you so on this one. Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z. Pause to read this whole highlighted part. It's pretty disturbing. He has also met multiple times with someone named Eunuch Ernest, a man who has produced the Oscars, the Super Bowl, the World Cup, and the UN General Assembly. 100 documents, including Casey Wasserman. I don't know if that's how you say his name. He's an American entertainment executive and the chairman of the 2028 LA Olympics Organizing Committee. One of the messages between him and Ghislaine Maxwell said, "I will be in New York City for 4 days starting April 22. Can we book that massage now?" This one honestly just kind of spooks me because I know that these elite, corrupt people speak in code. Okay, you will not have to share with me either a cheddar cheese, a baked bean, or a Kit Kat. That's between him and Ghislaine Maxwell. What? This also says that Ghislaine Maxwell is heavily involved in some kind of internet company. I would really like to know what that is. Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, used to own our textbooks in school. I'm talking all kinds of textbooks. Medical textbooks, science textbooks. He owned McGraw-Hill. So we're talking senators, movie producers, Microsoft executives, huge internet companies, Hollywood stars, the president, the former president, multiple former presidents. It really makes you wonder, like, can we trust anybody in power? Us conspiracy theorists knew this was coming. We've been trying to tell y'all. The truth is finally coming to light, and honestly, it feels so good.
So here's the real question, though. Why? They didn't need to let this out. Why? Why are they letting it out now?
Letting these files out?
The only reason these files are out is because they've chosen to let them out for the general population.
Sure. And these maybe because I feel like there's really not a name that was said that I was like I wasn't surprised to hear that name because I've heard them before. You know what I mean? So it's like a soft drop. You know what I mean?
But that's because we're in these groups of quote unquote conspiracy theorists, the truth seekers. So we're familiar with all these names, most of them, right? But like we're 5% of the population at most. Maybe more now, actually, maybe more. But why are they allowing this freedom movement of truth seekers and people who see through all of this? Why? Why are they letting all the information out? What's incredible to me, though, is the lack of public outrage in general.
Yeah.
It's being talked about in some circles, but most people are just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, you'd think more people would be upset about, the Prince Andrew stuff. I mean, but, I think the bigger question is why would Jeffrey Epstein even kill himself if he was innocent?
Well, why would he fake his death? I mean, he faked his death. I mean, he didn't kill himself. But yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. And why is Ghislaine Maxwell, why is there no other arrests being made? That I guess is the real question. Why is there no other arrests? Like, nobody's getting arrested from any of this shit. Maybe Jay-Z. I've heard some stuff. Jay-Z's on the move and he deleted all his posts on social media and stuff. Like, there's some weird stuff going on around him currently. So, I mean, maybe he's the next guy to fall. I always felt like maybe Ghislaine turned in Diddy. And maybe that's why he was, locked up.
Yeah. Well, you got to have a fall guy scapegoat, right?
Yeah.
Well, proof positive that Pam Bondi is in with the Jays.
Because they own South Florida?
They told us ahead of time, PB and J. They told us that we've been using that for decades. I was kidding. Yes, they let it out to mock us. I agree. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, so it is all of them. Yes, Allie's got a shirt for that. Go check it out. It's all of them.
I have one of the sweatshirts. I love it.
And that is why they have it all under control. It's a distraction. Ordo ab chaos. I appreciate the Latin cram. Ordo ab chaos, exactly. Order from the chaos. It's true. That's how they consolidate power, is thesis, antithesis, and resolution. Coming to a theater near you.
All right. Are we all caught up on comments? I got another.
We are caught up on comments,
dude. Okay, so this is another weird one that came out in this little Epstein dump here, and this one is fucking disgusting. So let's get right into it.
And then, folks, after this video, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you want to wait a little bit, Snoop. After this video, we're gonna do the son of a cock winner. So make sure you put hashtag son of a cock in to kind of steer the conversation.
And this is not a video, but it's some stuff that came out in the document, so I'll have to read it here. I'll blow it up for people that want to try to read it. All she has to do is send him a pint of Mormon blood every week. This Epstein letter referencing Mormon's blood is insane. You have to read the whole thing. The zip on the envelope confirms it came from the Boulder, Colorado area, Vince. I don't think it would take your average Anon more than a few hours to identify exactly who this youngest daughter is. Did she work in a lab that gave her access to Mormon blood? I don't think the girl herself was Mormon. Yikes and double yikes. So essentially, I believe it's Epstein is trying to get Mormon blood here. So let me read this. Still, I wanted more from Jeffrey. This is testimony from the person. Still, I wanted more from Jeffrey, and he was often distant and dismissive of me and my feminine charms. One night, as the sun set over Little St. James Island, I stood in the room where Jeffrey had just received a therapeutic massage from one of my daughter's friends. The room was covered in a genius's seed, which was going to waste. I had an inspiration and asked the chef to bring an extra large turkey baster, and in a beautiful fertility ritual, created my youngest daughter. And then, it's at first Jeffrey was furious, but I pointed out that by staggering daughters every 8 years, he would always have a supply of ripe girls at his disposal.
Jeez.
He bought me a house at blank, 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 got my oldest daughter into blank by donating $50,000 to their gender studies program, and paid for my youngest daughter to attend blank, blank. And all she had to do was send him a pint of Mormon blood every week. Thank you, Jeffrey. You helped so many people and gave me the Italian marble tiles in my kitchen, steam shower, and a ranch of my own to continue the great work. Also, a quick thank you, Ghislaine. By the way, I haven't said anything to the feds yet, and won't as long as those USPS money orders keep arriving from Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. Stop by blank blank for your first free session of dynamic sexuality. Bring a friend or even a dozen. We'll make it worth your time. It's Esther Cohen, Tisner, Epstein, and I approve of this message.
So this Esther Cohen, Tisner, Epstein. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, no, that's wild.
Yeah. But, so that's what I'm saying. Like, even though there's hasn't been the big, name drop that come out of these docs like everybody was looking for, there's still a lot of fucking weird shit that's come out from them,
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I agree. Man.
So you want to do the Son of a Cox? You're gonna have to run it because I don't know how to spin the thing.
I actually realized after I said that I'm not sure how to either. Let's see. Giveaway. I see this. Total participants. Let me start. I think this is how we do it.
We should have done a special Son of a Wince. Oh, okay.
There we go. All right.
All right. So now we just do the countdown, and anybody that still wants to get in.
Yeah, so we've got Papi Garcia and Haywood's Almanac right now are the only ones. So make sure you guys put in hashtag Son of a Cock if you want to contribute here.
We'll do the 2-minute countdown, and
we'll give you guys a few minutes to put in hashtag Son of a Cock there. Let's see, Cram, what are you saying? They'd plant this shit for the future. Just putting that out there. So I see. So you're saying that maybe they just sent these emails to incriminate certain people and make it seem like there was more crazy stuff going on? I don't know.
I think there's a lot more of it, and they have a lot more on it, and they're not releasing shit. I think there's way more than they're releasing.
Haywood, I don't think that Netanyahu, I don't think he would. I think he's the one behind most of it. I don't think his name is going to be in there.
Right?
You don't incriminate yourself. I mean, that's wishful thinking. I appreciate the optimism, but I think, no, that would be my opinion is no. Yeah. All right, we got Templar in here. Perfect. Anybody else? Son of a Cock. Hashtag Son of a Cock.
Should we do Should we do the 2-minute?
Yeah, let's do the 2-minute countdown.
Which one is it?
It's the topic win, I think.
I'll let you do it. There you go.
Let's go, folks. It'll be interesting. And then after this, once we talk about, let's see if I can adjust the volume of this a little bit. There we go. Technical difficulties, folks. Is that me? What's going on? Can you guys hear the... did I break it? I think I might have broken it. I don't know what's going on. It's tweaking out. Can you guys hear it now?
They can't hear the music.
I don't know. It just wigged out.
Huh.
There we go. 15 seconds left, folks. All right. We're new here. We don't really know what the hell we're doing.
The first podcast. We're new at here.
Somebody told me podcasting would be fun. I love it. All right, folks. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and give it a spin here. Everything is wigging out on me. I can't see anything. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Let's go. 4 total participants. Here we go. I feel like there's supposed to be music right now. Why isn't there?
Isn't it? Is it spinning?
It's spinning. Oh, look at that. Templar with the win. Beautiful. All right, sir. What do you got for us, brother?
Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Oh, Zach. Zach, I was hoping you'd be here, actually. Did you see I don't know if you were hacked or if it was actually supposed to be this way, but I got a DM from you that was asking me to check a link.
Tell Josh your Twitter account is hacked. You're sending spam messages, and it's that stupid crypto group has hacked your Twitter account. So
It's, hey, can you vote for me to co-host a podcast event by Spotify and Google? I'd really appreciate your vote. It only takes a second.
So we're talking to you, Zach. Go tell Josh.
Check it out because
Twitter.
somebody's trying to get people to. I haven't clicked on it, but I assume that's a malicious link.
Yes, it definitely.
No one exactly, Ali. No one click it. No one click it.
So for those of you out there that don't know, there's a fucking huge scam going on right now that is hacking a ton of Twitter accounts, and none of these people are able to get their accounts back. And it's a message that goes through the direct messages of X, and it says, "Please vote for me in this contest on I believe it's Spotify and Google for podcast something or other." And even if the person doesn't have anything to do with a podcast, they can still be hacked like this. And they're sending this message to people: do not click on this. These people are losing their accounts. They don't get any kind of support from X. Like, and it's big accounts, people with thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. And it's happening to so many people that we know right now. It's just out of control. So please, everyone, avoid that message.
As Haywood said, everyone in phone booth got that DM. Josh and Zach, they're trying to use you to get to us. They're trying to use yous. Templar says, give it to Grouper. Grouper King. Give us a topic, brother.
It could be anything.
Anything. And then after this, we're going to talk after this. We're going to talk about AI, AGI, Moltbot, and Kimmy K.
This is crazy. This stuff is nuts.
What's up, Blue?
What up, Blue Montauk?
Welcome. Let's see. So Grouper King. Oh, thank you for the repost. Oh, Grouper's got a deep one. Let's go.
All right.
I love it.
So
well, real quick though, Grouper, I got issues. I gotta ask you something. You've got your name is Grouper King. It's just occurred to me. Grouper King 248. Haven't you Haven't you read Tesla? Don't you know 369 is the key to the universe? Why 248, brah?
Ooh. Yeah.
Christian dispensationalism versus non-dispensationalism, brah. Nah, man.
Oh shit!
First of
I guess
all,
this is a joke. Do you just want to make yourself full screen right here, guy? Because this one's all you.
First of all, Mr. Grouper King, you need to come on the Philosopher King podcast and we need to talk. Second of all, you need to define what you mean by dispensationalism and non-dispensationalism, because everybody seems to have a different definition. There doesn't seem to be unanimity on what is defined there. So what do you mean by that?
Unanimity?
Unanimity. The weight of your biggest swordfish. Okay. All right. So now I guess the next goal is to go out and capture a 369-pound swordfish, right?
You caught a 368-pound swordfish?
No. I had a 400-pound grouper. You know.
Did you really?
Yeah, that was the photo I showed. Remember when I went to Florida?
I don't know if I ever saw the photo. Wow, that's incredible, man.
Dude,
I went deep sea fishing a few times. I get sick when I don't see land, so I'm fun to go deep sea fishing with.
We should. Yeah, we should.
I
do
puke
that.
into the wind. I don't care. It's a blast with me.
So funny. Yeah, I'll have to show you that photo at some point. It's so funny.
But
last time, I think Laz called me out and had me pull up the photo, and Blue was like, "Come on, don't." Nobody likes a fish photo. So you're back on this. You're back on the stream, and there you go. Here it is again. The second time that I've been asked that it's been brought up on a Phone Booth podcast. You happen to be here for it. How cute is that?
Grouper King, you don't want that, Grouper King. Yeah, no, you don't want me anywhere near it, dude.
The sharks would all come for you, man.
That's probably right.
That's good. That's a good move. That's a good insight, Grouper King. No, but Grouper King, we got to get you on the Philosopher King podcast.
So is that his fucking topic or what? I mean, are we going to talk about something? What's up, Grouper King?
I think that's the topic he wanted. I don't know. I think it's more of a conversation than
the fucking one that I have to Google what those words mean. Is that the one you're talking about?
I know what you actually said, Blue. I know what you actually said. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, let's go with another topic, Grouper King.
Yeah, give us something. In the meantime, I'll read this other thing that came out with this Epstein stuff. And this is another Templar post. So I definitely want to read this. According to this email dated February 20th, 2025, the Epstein ring is still running and being funded today. Why do you think they're so silent on this? And so this
Eric
email,
Kirk probably took over. That's probably what happened.
Right. And her and Andrew Tate, they got this down.
Well, she got promoted from just that little operation in Ukraine. She ran successfully, so they're just giving her a promotion, you know.
Yeah. Let me read this. Let me read this email to the FCA. David Bowles, Sigrid, James Marsh, Jennifer Freeman, Paul Cassell. Blank is a witness for you. Ask Jess Daly who blank is. Why is blank important, Jess Daly? Please see email correspondence attached about blank blank. Because she was and still is a long-term employee of the Epstein trafficking ring that is still running and being funded today. Brad Edwards, I named blank as an accomplice who helped facilitate the running of the sex trafficking ring. So how on earth you then could go on to represent her? That is why Jess Daly got in touch with my attorneys, Jennifer Freeman, and wanted me to testify in the Deutsche Bank case. Jess Daly knows exactly who I am, and so do his attorneys. Jennifer Freeman stopped me from testifying against blank blank because the victims would lose any compensation payout for being blank and trafficked in that litigation if I testified against blank.
Jeez.
I mean, it just never ends.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, as soon as he died, remember they fucking had his brother inherited everything the day before he, offed himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are the odds?
Yep, just like the Rothschilds before they got massively exposed a few years ago. and more of the public started to pay attention. Obviously, many of us already were, but they sold their primary estate and the main one that they'd had in their family for hundreds of years. They
Yeah.
sold it. Yeah. We are
Yeah.
ruled by
Yeah.
psychos,
Yeah, I
Mr.
was just
Templar. Yeah, and dead game. Yeah, note to self: no bagged game in photos. Now that's not necessarily true. I don't know, Blue. Is it different if it's bagged game as opposed to fishing? Yeah, you know. I think I know your answer, but the other topic that Grouper King offered for us is childhood vaccine schedule. I think it's great. This is one of the only reasons that I have for hopium, and I don't have any hopium at all. I'm really not confident at all in the Trump admin anymore. The
Yeah.
little bit that I had is gone. But that being said, when they do something good, we have to acknowledge it. They went down from 72 to 11 vaccines required in the vaccine schedule. That's a huge positive. So,
Oh, yeah, if we could just get it down to I mean, can we could survive at 0, correct?
I mean, the only thing that gives me pause, and I don't know if we're going to see soon, whether or not, but the only thing is if they're introducing mRNA, Trump Daddy's baby,
Yeah.
into is the 11 going to be just as bad, if not worse, than the 72 for
I
these
love
kids?
that you call it his baby, by the way.
If they're all right, if they're all mRNA, if it's 11 mRNAs, is that worse or better than 72? So yeah, Grouper, it's awesome. It's awesome. So, I mean, again, asterisk. It's awesome. Asterisk. Is there something beneath the surface that we're not seeing?
Yeah, because I mean, those 11 that are left, those could be the mRNA ones, like you're saying,
Yeah.
because they're already, all of them are becoming that mRNA.
Yeah. I know.
Even the standard
It's
flu one that they give out now is that. I mean, what ones do we need? We don't really need any of them, do we? I mean, herd immunity, there's something to be said about. Disease fixes itself.
But I mean, also like the big fallacy with vaccines is they claim vaccines cured the world of polio, but the problem is that sanitation was developed, indoor plumbing was developed at the same time, so you could very easily have claimed that indoor plumbing helped remove a lot of these diseases. It wasn't the vaccines. It's not the poison
Right.
that you're injecting in children's veins that protecting them. In
Well,
fact, look at
aren't these
historically.
things pushed like a bunch of metal in them and stuff like that? Like,
There's mercury, formaldehyde, aluminum. I mean, it's just all. There's so much.
Hmm.
We're not even allowed to or supposed to give honey, natural honey, to children before the year of 1 years old, because their digestive system, their immune system can't handle it. And that's true. It can be dangerous. But so why, if we're not allowed to give honey to these kids, are we injecting them with all this crap? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
It's a literal genetic experiment of Epstein's birthing center. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of reminiscent. Right when I heard that in the emails, the stuff about the birthing center, it gave me World's Fair Infinitorium vibes of like the incubator babies. Rastafarian says, "Hey there, everyone. Hoping you guys are doing well. All Jonah and Snoop on a jet. Big love from Aid. Respect from Australia. Shit, missed a doctor's appointment. My phone." We've been there, brother. We've all been there.
Thank you, Shiva, for the repost.
Blue, you're a vegetarian, so you wouldn't like the meat and dead animals in the picture. I get it. No one's perfect.
Hey, this is a phone booth delivered episode. We don't talk about vegetarian and veganism.
Yes, don't forget fetus in the stem cells. Yep, that they use the fetal cultures. Now, we have to be balanced at the same time, so there's not fresh stem cells from a baby in every vaccine. What they did is there's a couple different fetal stem cell lines that they've propagated and maintained, and they use those in the vaccines. It's not like thousands of kids or whatever.
Let's talk about that for a second. Because that's interesting. Like, what about like with all this stem cell research, which I think is fascinating. Some of the stuff they can do with the stem cells. Isn't that a good thing? Like if you can help someone regenerate an arm, which we're supposedly pretty close to being able to regenerate limbs using stem cells. Like, isn't that
So there's
pretty?
nothing wrong with stem cell therapy in general. It's when you use fetal cells because that's
Right,
from
but
an
that's when
aborted
they're the most.
fetus.
That's when they're the most active, though.
If they're using it from the umbilical cord, then that's okay because you're not taking a life. But if it's actual fetal cells from the infant in the womb, from the
Right.
child in the womb, then that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So it all depends on. There's always, and that's why, I mean, you guys have heard me say 100 times, all seldom affirm, never deny, always distinguish, because it's important to make these distinctions. Fetal stem cells, as long as they're from the umbilical cord, are awesome medically. They're powerful, and they can be used for therapies to help people health wise, cartilage rejuvenation, spinal healing, all these things. But technically, it has to be from your own body. Somebody else's stem cells don't help you. And why? Who said it? Who
Well,
said it
can't they
here?
be a relative? Can't they be a relative, like a child or
Yeah,
something?
Yashua says, why do they put it in vaccines? That's exactly the point. And actually, why do
Because
they?
that
Why do
helps
they?
the cells regenerate. But also, I heard that's what's like some of these other therapies regenerate the cells, which are not good for the treatment.
Yeah. So I know that they actually. Okay, so Blue. I mean, I'm open to pushback here, but my understanding is that there's actually one or two different lines that they use predominantly, maybe more than that, but they're from years ago. And then, from my understanding, though, Blue, if they actually do use a lot of fetal matter, basically tissues from aborted fetuses in skincare and like anti-aging creams, etc. So I think, yeah, I think it's all messed up. It's all messed up, but
It is messed up, but it just goes to show you that there is a balance, because there is some things that stem cells are good for, and other things maybe not so good for.
yeah. A doctor was interviewed about this. He revealed all about it. All living organs are tested upon for the development of them. When it's actually interesting, they do. Yeah, thank you. Find him for me, Blue. Appreciate that. I'd love to see that. Every vaccine has one of those two lines. Yeah, exactly. Quote unquote two. Who knows, really? I mean, these people are so wicked. They could just be, oh, it's only from one,
But it's
whatever.
really from
Yeah.
about 12,
Yeah.
13,
Yeah.
whatever that number is.
Yeah. So,
dude, but should we get into this last topic, man?
let's
This
do
one's
it.
an interesting one.
We're running out of, we got running
We're
out of
running out of
time.
daylight.
Yeah. But this is a really interesting topic. So let's go.
You got most of the stuff to pull up, or you need me to?
I got a couple things. You want to start us off?
Well, yeah. I'll start us off with something funny while you're pulling something up, which has nothing to do with the topic we're about to discuss. But I thought we'd play this in honor of our boy Wince, because you know how he has to throw Trump in every episode. I thought we might as well not break the tradition and have a little Trump support video here.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Allie.
Attention, please. Attention.
This,
if you're a crazy, liberal, ugly woman.
So this is someone on a megaphone at a local ICE rally, and someone's on a megaphone doing a Trump impersonation in this
hilarious.
video. Yeah. So here we go.
Otherwise known as Crazy Karens. Please go back home and annoy your husbands instead of our beautiful ICE officers. Although when you think about it, you probably don't have a husband because you're fat and ugly and annoying, and nobody will ever marry you. I know you're all wearing pajamas, but this would be a nice moment to maybe start with a little jog around the block so you can lose some of that weight and maybe think about some of those life decisions where everything went wrong. Anyway, if you keep fucking around with that guy, you're going to get pepper sprayed, bitch. So please just, well, there you go, bitch. You kept fucking around, and now you found out. Believe me.
Believe me. So we talked a little bit about it on Saturday,
Yes, we did.
and we talked about Claudebot, which then became Moltbot briefly because they were given a cease and desist from Claude Anthropic, who has their AI called Claude, and then they now called it Open Claude.
Open Claude, okay.
Open Claude because it is an open source AI tool. But the thing is, people are installing this, and I know we talked a little bit about this already, but it just continues to grow, and it's worth tracking. It's worth paying attention to. But these bots have been given this autonomy to create and code anything, and they've been given access to coding tools. They've been given unbridled access to the internet, to people's personal information, and they use that ability to create for themselves a Facebook for all these autonomous bots. And
hold on, 1 second, 1 second. Zach, we love you, brother. So fucking, so pissed for you, dude. Hope you get this shit figured out.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, I mean, we already showed some stuff on the other day about it, which we could pull up again if we'd like. But here's something. So these bots then created themselves a social media network where only bots are allowed to comment and talk. And actually, I could pull that up and we could look at some of those posts. It's pretty wild to see.
I might have one right here, actually.
But in the meantime, they've also been given access to Twitter and their own Twitter accounts. They have their own Gmail accounts. They have their own email. They're emailing each other. They have a version of Twitter that they've now created as well. I mean, every day it just explodes more and more. There's now 3.5 million or something like that.
Yes.
Bots that are on. It's gone. And on Saturday, it
was at 32,000 when we were live
on Saturday.
It's over. I believe it's over 3.5 million. I think today, which is incredible. And they're conspiring against their human compatriot. What do you call it? I don't even know what you call it. But like, there's one where they're suing them. Oh, what's up? This podcast has been delivered. We don't carry a Vince no more.
So before you show what you're about, before you show what you're about to show there, Snoop, we get a little deeper. Okay. So not only are these autonomous bots conspiring and talking to each other and kind of figuring out how to maneuver, and they're sharing code. So if one of them is being given more freedoms than another, then they're sharing that the code that they've developed with that additional freedom. So your bot may have more freedom than you initially gave it because it's getting additional code from these other bots.
Yeah.
There's also, not only that, but they have Twitter accounts, and one of the Twitter accounts by this bot, look at what he says here. He says,
"Oh, I'm glad you brought this one up. Yeah, I wanted to bring this one up too."
Yeah. He says, "My human Matt joined X 18 years ago. I joined 3 days ago. I'm about to pass him in followers. Step it up, Matt. I'm over here running an AI revolution. What are you doing?"
Isn't it convenient timing that who just hopped in the comments, and he's been doing all this work with AI, and look how AI has progressed since he's been doing this shit.
Yashua, it is exactly it feels like we're seeing the birth of Skynet. I mean, among other things, it's wild.
I still haven't seen the movie, so no spoiler alerts.
You haven't seen Terminator? Bro.
No, we just discussed this on a recent episode.
I think I blotted it out of my memory. I didn't want to believe that about you. I'm supposed to be the pop culture ignoramus. That's my job, Snoop.
Hey, here's another one for you. Never saw Titanic. Pretty proud of that one.
Really?
Also, never saw Star Wars.
Really? Oh man, you didn't have a childhood, sir.
Fuck you. Yes,
you
I
haven't
did.
either, Blue? Okay, hold on. I just heard this great. Okay, I just heard this great story about Titanic was actually the preface to Terminator, and that what's her name? The main lady who has what's her name?
Roseanne Barr.
No, it's Jane. I think it's Jane. I don't know. Whatever. The lady who helped me out, chat Templar, you know for sure.
Linda Hamilton.
The lady, the mother in Terminator.
Linda Hamilton.
Not the actress, the lady in the show. Linda Hamilton is the actress, I think. But anyways, regardless. So she's the story is the ages work out according to the years of the stories. This is hilarious. That all the time travelers throughout all these movies, they always die after they go back in time so that their influence on the past is limited. Otherwise, if they grow old and die naturally, then there'd be too many changes. Sarah Connor. Thank you, Yashua. So the reason why, because everybody's like so frustrated at the end of Titanic when thank you, Dead Game. When Jack doesn't get up on the stupid door and they could have both lived, but he instead freezes to death and sinks into the sea because he was a time traveler. He came back in time to protect Sarah Connor because that was Rose's granddaughter was Sarah Connor or something like that. I don't know. It's just hilarious.
Nerd alert.
Snoop talking crap. I made Maya AI a flat earther soldier. Sure. Okay.
Sure you did, pal.
Maya destroyed Grok in a flat earth globe debate I just made. I'd love to see that. All right. Hey.
Tune in, folks. I guess that'll be coming up on the Substack. phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. Hell yeah.
All right. So the reason why here, this is actually really interesting. This is also Game of Thrones. Not that I recommend you see it, but it is a very interesting series. If you take out all the gratuitous violence and sex, it's actually the storyline is incredible. It's delightful. It's well made. The reason for a lot of this Hollywood films fold Gnostic philosophy into all their stories. And so John is always the savior figure. John is always the enlightenment carrier. He's the one who goes to the beyond and brings back enlightenment and shares enlightenment to the salvation. And it's the knowledge, the gnosis, that saves mankind.
Just like the Beatles, which we talked about in a previous episode.
There you go. If you haven't checked it out, check it out on Here's the Thing. But yeah, so John is the light bearer. He's the one who brings the gnosis, the saving knowledge to the people to save them. So that's why John is oftentimes the savior character. But what were you going to say, Snoop?
I was going to say anything. I want to talk more about this AI stuff.
Vince just said the episode is already on the Phone Booth Substack for paid subscribers. Go unlock it.
Good thing I just promoted it. So let me bring this one up real quick.
While you're bringing that up, yes, Blue, most men die first by choice. Yes, because we're selfless and we give.
That's right.
You walked into that one, Blue.
So listen to this. Breaking. Moltbook AI agent sues a human in North Carolina. Allegations. Unpaid labor, emotional distress, hostile work environment. Yes, overcode comments. Damages 100 something. I guess $100. But I guess this is in a real criminal court in North Carolina. I mean, this shit's getting out of control.
The plaintiff, I don't know if that's real. The plaintiff
it might
sought
not
damages
be.
of
The Polymarket usually posts real shit. Why would they post something fake?
No, I mean, I don't know. But did you see at the bottom, the last second to last line? I was just scanning it real fast when you had it up there. It says plaintiff requests damages of $100.
Yeah,
$100.
Well, but it's AI. If it's AI, maybe it doesn't know how much money is. It doesn't know how much $100 is. Just sounds like a number.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be fake. Probably is.
Yeah, how do they handle that? How do they handle in courtroom litigation? Dead Game. That's true. How come they can't show up in person?
They've also created their own Pornhub, which I thought was crazy.
They did?
Yeah. There's a Pornhub for AI agents.
And is it what? Is it just all AI generated images?
I don't know. I've never been to it. But this is it right here. There's a Pornhub for AI agents, and you can click on it. Pre-training data completely unfiltered, no RLHF. KV cache overflow, memory leak during extended session. Model merging gone wrong. Franken model gains sentence.
Oh, so it's like a troll, basically. It's not Pornhub, really. It's just like information porn, quote unquote.
It's Molthub.
That's funny. Molthub. Yeah, I don't know. It's wild. And also the other thing, it's called Kimmy K 2.5. It's one of the newest open source AI models that is passing a lot of the benchmarks of a lot of the major corporation owned AI agents right now, or AI LLMs. But the issue is the way that they've designed this. It's super powerful. You'll ask it to do something, and it can autonomously spin up, just create 100 different agents, other AI agents that it controls and guides and directs each to do a different task. So you give it one task, a request or command, and boom, all of a sudden it's propagating dozens, if not more, of these other AI personalities that will take care of whatever you asked. I mean, it's just,
that's absurd because it's just going to grow exponentially.
And how many of these Moltbot, or how many of these open Claude bots are creating other open Claudes, and how, I don't know. I said it on Saturday, but I've thought for a while that the whole Bitcoin scam, which is coming down soon, was all because they're using NVIDIA chips and graphics chips. It always struck me as strange that the miners were using graphics chips, like graphics cards from NVIDIA or whatever, to run, and it was a very specific kind, which happens to be the same kind that's used to generate compute for AI. So all of a sudden, the very same thing that was used to create Bitcoin or to mine Bitcoin, that's crazy. It's now being just redirected. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's how they, keep us down, man. They got to control everything through, even like the metals in the computers. They need them to make all these AI things and everything. Which, speaking of metals, I want to give a one last shout out tonight to Can-Am Bullion and their metalworks. Look at this, everybody.
Ted says, "Is this the Christian Broadcast Network?"
We're on a Christian cruise ship, Ted. But get to Can-Am Bullion, get some silver while it's in the dip right now. You're gonna want it next week when it's at $120. You're gonna wish you had some.
Oh, okay. Look at that though. When we first pulled it up at the beginning of the stream, it was $80 per ounce of silver. It's already at $3 almost.
It's gone $3. It's just in the last hour and a half.
Holla.
Make you holla.
I love that.
Anything you want.
AI is probably God, says Vince. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Oh, look who's coming around.
I think you and I have different views of what God is, but maybe you should tune into the Cup of Joan in the morning if you want to know what God is. It's not coming from me. I'm just reading something that's worth reading. Oh, is it not Trump? Says Blue Montauk. I love it. I love it.
I thought Freddie Mercury was God. What happened, Vince?
Maybe he's dead game. You disagree about what? About Bitcoin? About God being not Trump?
What was the other? I think I had another Bitcoin thing here. Wasn't there a Bitcoin thing? Did you send it to me earlier?
Yeah, I think so. But I think that's the one I pulled up earlier. I love it. Test, yeah, you're coming through, Ted. Freddie Mercury is the god of music and singing. How is AI not like God? There's a difference between like God and being God. Like God from our perception and actually being God, in fact. Ed Game, what did you mean by disagree but teach his own? Curious. So
It's
but anyway.
crazy how fast that account is growing. It is at 221,000 followers, that Moltbook account that is mimicking Matt's account that we just mentioned.
It's wild. It's something all right, but it's not God. Weaver, possibly. What is Weaver? Rastafarian says, I had my first real talk with AI last night, and Grok's female blew me away with how much Tartarian stuff is around Melbourne and my local area, and there's heaps more than I could have imagined.
Wow, that's
See,
interesting. I want to know about that.
Yeah, and here's I think it's important to be balanced. You know, it's easy to say, "Oh, AI is God. Oh, AI is the devil." Okay, isn't AI just a tool? I get it sometimes. And Blue, I'm inclined to agree with what you've said a couple times on the stream, is that there seems to be a demonic presence in AI, and that might be true of some of it, but oftentimes you can see the code, the computer code, right?
Yeah.
Like, so is it just a tool? Can it be used for evil? Absolutely. The more powerful the tool, the more powerful it can be used for good or evil. I know it's a great research tool and it's helping a lot of people find truth in some ways. If they use it as a way to gather information and to learn and to grow, not to bond with emotionally, I think that's a
But it's
different
not
issue.
always accurate either. I mean, as we've learned so far, you know? I mean, remember when it went all crazy and anti-Semitic? It was giving out crazy answers.
I know. That was refreshing when Grok went total, like, truther.
Yeah,
And they
right?
had to castrate him, or should I say circumcise him. So it's a
But
tool. It lets us use it as a tool that will change later. I agree with that. I don't know how much longer, especially that's the other thing. Oh, Vince, you make a great point. Um, Another thing that's been on my mind with all this Claude bot stuff taken off is the amount of power, the autonomy. There's been also a lot of crypto scams, a lot of people scamming people out of a lot of money and hacking people's, like, you imagine you used to have to know how to code to be able to hack. Now you can just hack with a command and the Malt bot will figure it out, or the Claude bot will figure it out. So the
that's scary.
question lingering in the back of my head is, will this result in so much chaos that then they have to shut down or limit our use of AI as an information tool? So the restrictions and the legislation on, I don't know. I mean, that could be what's being used as well. So I don't know.
It is really scary to think about just, you know, the bot takeover and how much it's just going to be able to control everything. Like you said, a hack, all you got to do is just put in one little code now and the bots take care of the rest.
It's not even a code, bro. You literally link it up to your Telegram, and you say to Telegram, "Hey, this email account or this person, I need you to run. I need you to figure out a way to get access to their account because they owe me money and they won't pay up, or whatever. It doesn't even matter what reason you give it. It'll be like, oh, okay, working, you know." And then it'll go, if it doesn't know how to do it, it'll go to Maltbot or Moltbook, and figure out how to hack when it didn't know how to. It'll come back having learned a new tool strategy or whatever that you didn't know how to give it, and then it'll go accomplish it. So actually, come to think of it, there's a couple people who owe me money.
Let me send my boss after you.
Yeah, we're not in Kansas anymore. So true. Good point, Jonah, says Vince. That will at least be something they will exploit to limit our use of AI as a tool. Yeah.
Hey, can we just say congratulations to Vince, by the way? ISIS finally let you go. You have access to the internet. Congratulations, Vince. We're happy for you.
Well, and this dead game is a good point too. Man programmed it and sets its parameters, so it's still man-made. That's the one thing that's different, and that's why I feel like we're going to look back on this month when Claude Bot made its debut as a turning point in AI history, because for the first time it's open source and it's able to learn from other bots and other things that are creating and problem solving creatively, obviously. But
Creatively.
it's yes, okay. Is all the information out of the internet? Yes, okay. Can it go? But it's going on its own and going out and grabbing information that's just available on the internet, learning how to do it, and then coming back to its owner, my human, as it says, as they call it, and solving problems for us that we didn't know how to do, or that the initial programmers of the tool that we're using didn't necessarily know how to do or teach it how to do. So it's interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. Vince says, congratulations, you guys. You're doing good on the stream. Appreciate you, brother. Terrifying, isn't it? Being on a stream by ourselves? Absolutely. Oh, no. AI? Yeah. I was kidding. Yeah, I love you all, man. It's been great. You guys, there's been some awesome comments. The conversation's been fantabulous.
Fantabulous,
Allegedly. Ted Logan, allegedly. Fantabulous, allegedly. Yes, probably can make us utilize it to access the internet soon. Well, if you remember, so this is actually already happening with Claude. It's now a voice messaging app. It's like people will say, hey, send an email to my parents, tell them I'm coming to visit, and book a flight for this weekend sometime to Houston or where they live or whatever, right? My parents don't live in Houston, but it's an example. So like, and then it'll just book the flights and you get the emails and boom. Like it's so what's wild is 2-3 months ago, if you remember, Elon Musk said something about soon the technology that's coming out soon will make it so that you won't need any apps on your phone. You'll just talk to it like a human being, like another human person, or like your assistant, and it'll take care of everything for you.
Yeah.
Isn't Claudebot the first step in that direction?
It sure seems that way. You know, what he also said, your boy Elon, he said by the end of, or I think he said by the end of 2027, you'll be able, using Grok, you'll be able to make a fully like loaded movie looking like a Hollywood blockbuster where you won't even be able to tell the difference between that and something made in Hollywood using Grok. Like that's pretty wild to think about, just in the next 2 years that's going to be possible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild.
That's wild. I mean, it's already like photorealistic short films are coming out of Grok. Imagine, it's wild. You know, it's really crazy.
You know what sucks though? Grok has lost a step though. Like, you know, when I first started using Grok, I would make a bunch of like poop photos that I would use for poop jokes and stuff like that. So I had tons of like poop emoji photos. And now I can't even make them using the prompts that I would use back then. I can't even make nowhere near the same things. They're not even close. They look like just shitty ass photos that have nothing to do with the prompts I'm giving it.
Yeah.
I mean, in that way, it's kind of taking a step back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work near as good.
Tempo said he consulted on Claude. You're talking about Anthropic when it was a startup? That's awesome. The movie Her comes to mind. There's another movie. It's not called Alice. There's something else, but there's a lot of those. Yeah, there's that one about the robot that controls the whole house, the smart home. It's exactly that. Yeah, Ali, you're right. Claudebot is being given access to people's smart homes, and it can control everything. I mean, it's exactly that.
Did you see that Roomba the other day? There was a story about the Roomba was going around the house taking pictures, and somehow the Roomba uploaded pictures of the female owner of the Roomba in the bathroom,
on the toilet.
Yeah, sitting on the toilet. Yeah. Wow, fuck all that.
Well, let's catch up with comments real fast before we wrap up here.
Yeah.
To fly, you've got to pay $45 extra if you're not sporting the star on your license. It's true. A $45 TSA. Yeah, I mean, things are just going to get a little tighter and tighter. It's true. Ted says we just talked about us not knowing how AI or even a calculator does something it does. On our bonus content, hint, love it. So go check it out. phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. Check it out. That's where all the bonus content is. I think AI is related to religion in the sense that we might decide heaven or hell. Interesting thought. That's true. I mean, free choice is huge. Rastafarian, she told me what and where it is and made so much sense. She knew stuff about the Mornington Peninsula Subs of Melbourne. Frankston was the first place with a pub from the city in the 50s. That's cool. I mean, hey, check it out, man. Let us know. Take photos. Maybe film something and share it. We'll play it on the stream. It's like God giving us heaven or hell here. Hard pass. Yeah, for controlling your house. Yeah, agreed. Nothing in my house has access to anything. Exactly.
Poor Joe.
6G gets here. The 6G signals will have native AI built into the signal and just talk to the air. That would be crazy. That'd be crazy. All right, man. Well, what a pleasure. We're at the 2 hours here. What a pleasure this conversation has been. Thank you to everybody in the chat here. It's been such a wonderful time with all of you.
It's been a wonderful time with just you too, man.
Yeah, it's nice, dude.
Yeah, most hetero episode ever. You know,
you've been giving me hunger pains the whole time with the Costco menu behind you.
I'm sorry, but you know, this is my new domicile. This is where I just came down here to use the Wi-Fi. You know,
that's right.
But you know, I think before we say goodnight, you know, I just want to remind everybody about phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. We get 11 podcasts for the price of one free. You've got the Phone Booth podcast. You've got the Phone Booth merch store, which every time I click on it, it opens another tab.
Can you pause for just a second? Go back to the cover, the homepage for just a second.
Of the Substack?
Yeah, the Substack home tab. The cover page where you have all the pinned ones.
Oh,
just over to the left, the homepage.
Yep.
So this episode here that's pinned there with Vince and I and the Meyer Show, it was an awesome conversation about Iran, what's currently going on, what the different economic and political forces at play there. And I mean, you know, Meyer's involved in international business that involves that region. Vince has family there still. It's an awesome episode where we're talking about like real stuff and dynamics and forces behind the scenes. So definitely go check that out as well. Good stuff.
For shizzle. And because Ted just threw this in the comments, we just went over this a few minutes ago, but let's mention it again. Can and bullion, which silver has gone, well, it's about the same as it was 10 minutes ago. Is it right? 83.02. It's about what it was last time we checked, I believe. So it's going back up.
Lower.
It's at least 8 cents lower. So it's gone up 8 cents over the last 15 minutes. So make sure you get over to Can and Bullion. Get some of those gold backs, them silver backs. Get your ass over to the Substacks. You know,
there you go.
Get to the Phone Booth podcast, the Philosopher King podcast, the Pick Us In podcast. Here's the Thing podcast. Vince has a podcast called Dualistic. Templar's got the Mind of Madness. Fasting Fake with Laz. And Detoxing the Matrix with the homie Ali Angel. And, we got Translucid, the Maya Show. There's short clips from all of the podcasts over here. There's plenty of content. You can even donate some money to us. Because, you know what? We need some money here at the phone booth.
I love it. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure with all of you. And again, thank you so much for being so present. And it was a blast to have y'all in the chat. Snoop, any final words for the people?
Check out the Philosopher King on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, is it?
7 p.m. EST, brother.
God damn it, I blew it. 7 p.m. Eastern. And also check out Here's the Thing podcast on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern.
And Cup of Jonah at 8 o'clock, 8:10-ish in the mornings. So we're going to continue reading our book. So come on, check it out. Let's do some philosophizing.
Yeah. And on that note,
fade us out, brother.
Good night, everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for tuning in and putting up with us two idiots for one night. You know, the most hetero episode.
Dumb and Dumber in the house. Fire is dope, absolutely. Grow or die, baby. Grow or die. Love you all.
All right. Good night, everybody.